Hello and welcome back to the Chronicles of a Gooner, bringing you my post-match reaction to Arsenal 1, Leicester City 1. Really frustrating result in the end because given the balance of play in the first half, we should have been away and out of sight. So really disappointing to see Leicester City pull us back. But, considering the fact that we did go down to 10 men and Leicester were in the ascendancy and Leicester were controlling the game at that point, I think we just got to be pleased with the fact that we took the draw and we managed to get out of there with a point. Our unbeaten sort of little run remains intact. Unfortunately, we weren't able to close the gap on Leicester City, close that 9-point gap between the two sides. But look, the red card made a huge difference, didn't it? Now, I've got to be honest, Arsenal weren't great in the second half. Even prior to that, we weren't creating with the frequency that we were in the first period. In fact, nowhere near it. But you can't help but feel that the red card, of course, changed the balance of the game and proved to be a really key decision. Am I upset about the decision? I'm not going to say I'm upset about it. I'm not going to say I'm angry about it, but I am frustrated by it. And I am frustrated by it purely from an Arsenal perspective because ultimately, at the end of the day, I think everybody watching that knew that Nketiah didn't go into that challenge with the intent of doing the player or hurting him or anything like that. But I can also see why, having reviewed it with the VAR and having seen the replays, etc., you can see why he's been dismissed. And if it was the other way around, I'm sure we'd all be calling for the card. I'm frustrated, like I said, because of the fact that red card seemingly had an impact, because Leicester found an equaliser despite not creating a great deal throughout the game. And I guess from the VAR perspective again, what really pissed me off about it was that at the end of the day, we never ever see the referees go over and check the screen. And this time he's decided to do it. The VAR obviously couldn't come to a decision because they were watching it over and over again. But unfortunately, the decision's gone against us and it's really disappointing. Connor Hanley says the first half was very impressive. You're absolutely right, mate. It was really impressive. And that's something we should take heart from. It's disappointing that we didn't win the game because we were in front. But if you think about the difference between the two sides this season, there's a 9-point gap between Leicester City and Arsenal. They've been that much better than us over the course of the season. We weren't going to go into this game and completely blow them away. We've been on a good run of form lately. This was a bit more of a test, wasn't it? Playing a team at the level that we want to be at in terms of being in the running for the top 4. And look, we didn't get all 3 points in the end, but we didn't lose. And that's the biggest positive that we've got to take. I'm seeing some criticism of Eddie Nketiah in the comments. Look, mate, it's just one of those ones. He's just come on the pitch. He's overly eager. He's tried to just nick the ball and get in behind the defender. And unfortunately, he's caught the man. And the VAR replay doesn't look great. And sadly, he was dismissed for it. And again, I'm not going to say that, that we lost the game purely because of that, because we were sinking deeper and deeper. Tired legs started to play a part all around the Arsenal team. Mikel Arteta did his best to freshen it up in terms of trying to bring different personnel on. And unfortunately, it's backfired on him with Eddie Nketiah being shown the red card. A couple of comments as well coming through that things were falling apart prior to the red card. I don't deny that. I think I've said it over and over again even in this short video. I think Arsenal were starting to fall that little bit deeper. We're starting to fall into that trap of becoming a little bit too defensive. The outlets weren't there anymore. The Bukayo Sakas were running out of steam. They weren't as effective in terms of the runs they were making. When Lacazette went off, we didn't have anybody to hold up the ball. Obviously, Mikel Arteta hoped that Eddie Nketiah would do that, a little bit for us. But unfortunately, we're showing the red card. And we're just really unlucky tonight. Really unlucky, in my opinion. We should have taken our chances in the first half. Just finished a live commentary on the game. And I said that we needed to take those opportunities and we didn't, and they might bite us in the arse later on in the game. But Leicester are known for scoring goals late on in games, and if you can't maintain your concentration and you can't keep on top of it throughout, then you're going to fall foul of that. And unfortunately, a combination of the red card and tired legs have done us this evening. But look, let's take the positives from it. Arsenal remain unbeaten since the Brighton game. It's a positive result against a side who have been essentially better than us. So, you know, let's take it, let's move on. And we've got a massive North London derby coming up at the weekend. Now is not the time to feel sorry for ourselves. Right, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with a live podcast. We'll be reviewing the game in detail. I'll be joined by Lee Scott, FM Analysis, as he's known, and we'll be going through this game and dissecting exactly what went right and what went wrong for Mikel Arteta's side. So until then, enjoy the rest of your evenings, and we move, we build. It's another point in the bag, and let's not focus too much on the negatives. Cheers.